another Fair and Flame episode. That was probably loud. I don't know, brother. I think
I'll do our intro.
I think it's bedtime.
Yeah, let's do our intro because we're just gonna read these. Ready?
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Fair and Flame Podcast.
Hey there, listeners, and welcome back to Fear and Flame Podcast. I'm Brooklyn.
I'm Mason.
What?
And today we're reading some Reddit ghost stories. So,
Hello.
strike a match.
Thanks for
light
the
a
gold
candle
stranger.
and settle in. This one is sure to ignite some fear. So I figured we would just read and react. Just an easy, simple, down-to-earth episode. We're so humble.
Yeah, bro. We don't make millions at all. Most down to earth.
We have to pay people to
Yeah.
watch this.
It's all right, bro.
So we'll just read some stories. I have some ghost stories. This first one is from the Reddit user Brittany, and this one was just a year ago. It says, I worked as an EMT security at a very large facility with multiple apartments, restaurants, shops, etc. As security, we were also in charge of any fire and life safety, which included checking eye wash stations. It involves turning on the water for about 5 minutes and testing the temperature, and then signing off on the tag. I worked the night shift and typically would do the kitchens around 3 a.m. because no one was there. There was one particular kitchen that I hated doing because I always had the feeling of being watched, which was so much worse when all the lights in the campus were off. When doing foot patrols, I always felt someone was standing at the entryways watching me through the building. To add some context, earlier in the night, my coworker was showing me his new shoes he had gotten and was excited for our nightly patrols to wear them in. During our interior patrols, we normally drop everyone off at different parts of the campus since it's so large to get it done quicker. I entered the kitchen and turned on my phone flashlight to see the eye wash station. I turned it on and waited a few minutes. I then turned it off and started filling out the tag. While writing in the date, I heard footsteps and saw legs and shoes stop about 2 feet away from me out of my peripheral. They looked like my friend's new shoes, so instead of glancing up, I giggled and said, "Wow, you really are trying to break them in. How did you finish your building so quickly?" After no response, I quickly looked up and saw no one was there. My heart sank so quickly. I then heard my friend call out over the radio that he cleared his building and was on to the next one. I did a quick walkthrough of the kitchen and found no one there. That was about 5 years ago, and I still remember it so vividly. I tried to tell myself I was just tired, but I've heard so many coworkers tell stories about that building.
That's not enough proof. Come on now. You saw a pair of shoes.
It is late. It's in the middle of the night, so
Yeah.
you're probably tired and everything.
Yeah. I think I've whatever that time that freaking lava. I think I've got a better odds of
lava
having
lamp?
a haunted lava lamp than this guy.
You gotta
has
bring
in
your
the
lava
building.
lamp whenever you
We can
find
put
it.
on the
We
thing.
need it.
It's
Yeah.
somewhere. Cause that sucker was shaking.
That sucker's haunted.
It was moving. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know who decided to take over the lava lamp. I don't know what ghost was like. Yeah, that's the one.
This story reminded me, Riley and some of the other boys would do like fire watch. So certain apartment buildings and stuff, you can get paid to stay overnight, and you do like rounds every so often, because I think they were either like getting some type of system, or it's just something that I'm not 100% sure what the reasoning is, but they have like fire watch. So you go and like every hour you have to patrol the whole grounds just to make sure that nothing's
on fire.
Yeah. Just like very eerie and creepy, like walking around in the dark by yourself. They did have a fire while they were there, and the person I think lived.
Well, that's got them. They probably made it
But
out.
it was bad because like the fire alarm didn't go off and stuff, like the smoke, all the smoke inhalation. I think it was pretty rough, but I'm pretty sure they lived. So the good news.
Yeah, probably. You know, maybe. No,
Have you ever done anything like that where you have to in the middle? Not really.
I've been in the office running like cable whenever nobody else was there, and it was kind of like, it was a little
creepy.
spooky. I did scare the cleaning lady though, because like
I bet
she walked in with the vacuum cleaner on and never looked in my direction, and I was like in this closet, and
That's
she was over here, and like I tried to like wave and be like, hey,
like I'm here or whatever.
yeah, to get, and she at no point recognized us. I was like, I guess I'll just keep working, and I was just sitting there working, and then I just hear like, oh! And I was like, whoa. It's like, my bad.
Gave her a
Like,
heart
sorry,
attack.
I'm-
That would scare me
yeah,
bad.
I was like, I'm just working on the network. She's like, oh, okay. I was like,
You should have just like quietly just like walked into the closet or something. Just
like,
word.
dude, that would
Probably
have
got
been funny.
fired.
Yeah, that would have been good.
You
though.
think?
Oh, yeah.
Good for that. Well, I don't know.
Nah.
Because if I could have convinced them that it wasn't malicious, if I was just like, yeah, I just backed up. I don't know what she's talking about.
I was
But
just
that
trying to.
would be-
I was trying not to scare her. Try to back away, get out of her.
Yeah, out of her view.
Out of her peripheral.
I try to hide into the shadows.
Yeah.
Super normal and like not,
I think it's normal for an IT guy. I feel like that's
Yeah.
all actually pretty normal.
retreat into the shadows.
Yeah.
I showed up to a job one time in the back parking lot where we parked because I was one of the first guys in back there in the mornings, and there was like 2 inches of water in it in the breaker room door. So it was like the only way to get into the breaker room where all of the breaker boxes were for the whole building and everything was to go in from the outside. It didn't, like, you couldn't get into the breaker room from inside the building. You had to enter in the back. And there was water pouring out of it, and the door was cracked. So I kind of walk up there and pop the door open, and the fire systems had been running. So all of the breakers and all of the breaker boxes and everything, there's just water running down each wall.
Oh my gosh.
And someone had tried to firebomb it that night, like early that morning.
Man.
So there was like 2 or 3 cans of gas laying in the parking lot and a screwdriver that they used to get in the door, and it was a bad doorknob.
What do you mean fire break it? What does that mean? Like
Fire-
light?
Like they were trying to like
light?
blow it up with
Yeah.
fire.
Oh my gosh! Why? Like, do you think it was a worker?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Like
I don't think they ever figured out who did it.
Like, what is it called? A disgruntled employee.
Yeah.
No, I think they did. I think they did fine. When I got there, my boss had got there a couple minutes before I did. So he had pulled up, seen everything, opened the
That is
door,
so
and seen that,
dangerous.
and then he went to the other side of the building to try to figure out how to shut the fire system off. About the time I got there, he come walking back, and he said he couldn't figure out how to shut off the
Dang.
the fire system.
What
But it
happens
was-
like if you can you get electrocuted? I'm guessing. Like, what do you?
Maybe.
Was it already
you-
shut off? Or
You probably could have when you were first there, but everything had been flipped by the time we got there,
Yeah.
so the whole building was without power already.
Would have been bad news if you were working in a panel. that sucker goes off. That would not be good.
But the police got there, and the fire marshal and firemen and all that, and got the sprinkler system shut off, and then questioned everybody. And I think they ended up finding a guy that had went into the hospital that morning with
For
a bunch
electricity?
a bunch of burns on his arms and stuff. But you could tell, like, before the firemen got there, I started looking around, and it was like 10 foot from the door, there's a 1-gallon gas can. And then like 20 foot from the door, headed out to the back of the parking lot, there was the screwdriver. And then like 30 foot...
So he just started
He left
dropping
all
his
of
eyes.
his
alive.
Yeah, he was
so
like,
it looked like he had ran and was like flinging stuff off of him, and there was some other stuff, like a glove, I think, and then I think they did find him because it happened on, like, I'd put my 2 weeks in already.
you were
So it
kind
was
of like hoping it'd burn the place down
it
to
was
you,
like my
Loki.
second. I had like a week left, like 5 days left, and I didn't end up hearing the rest of the story. But they did
Ah, dang.
man.
say that they had a guy in with like burns on his arms.
Yeah, I
that,
mean,
that had
That's
a
not
weird
obvious
story
at all.
about how he got him
Yeah.
So
at one of the
sucker's
local
like,
hospitals.
and I think that's so funny. How do you fail to firebomb something? Like you
was
just
like-
lit your own arm on fire and
Yeah.
you ran off? Like,
And he didn't. The majority of the damage was just the water, the sprinkler system.
Just from the water,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I think what he did is it was like 2 or 3. There was 2 or 3 5-gallon cans in the middle of the breaker room, which is about the size of this room. And then there had been like some boxes of paperwork or something that was stacked to the side in there. So he had put that in the middle and put a little gas on it, and then just left the cans sitting there. But
Golly.
the cans were vented.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like they were going to build pressure and explode.
Yeah.
So he lit the cardboard boxes, and then I'm sure just the vapors coming out of the can lit, and it'd have been like a little torch at the most.
at the end.
And
of
then the water,
And
I mean,
then-
the thing
and
just,
then
the
it
sprinklers
set the
immediately.
sprinklers
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
and all the damage was pretty much just
From
from
water.
The sprinkler
Yes.
system.
Sounds like that sucker was
He
worse
still,
off than the building.
He
I mean,
still did
that's-
some damage. It just
Yeah.
wasn't what he wanted.
Yeah.
He was thinking big
That's-
movie scene,
Yeah.
explosion.
That's you're so dumb. Like, how do you?
And
how
then
do
to
you
go
mess
into the
up?
hospital and be like, so they're like, what
was
happened?
Lighting the grill this morning.
Yeah.
I decided I was going to make myself a...
with the gasoline, you know how you
Yeah.
do. And
I know this little mark on my arm. That's not from a screwdriver.
Yeah.
No. I ran into
I
the
think
door
it's-
trying to get inside after I lit myself on fire making my morning hot dog.
And dude, you've got to be like pretty certain you're not gonna make it too far after if you're just gonna leave all the evidence.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna like.
Just
And I'm
dropping
assuming
stuff.
there has to be cameras out there.
No cameras.
No, really?
But even
Did
then,
you already
like-
say that?
No. But
Oh, I was about to say, dang.
yeah, for whatever reason they didn't have
I
cameras
bet they
in the
have 'em
back
now.
lot. Yeah, they had people come in. And it sucked because then I think I ended up working 3 weeks for my final 2 weeks. I think I worked that week and then the next week because we lost all power. So
One week was just no
I worked
work.
a week there and it was in the summer, keeping a generator back there filled with gas just to run our computers. so we could keep
It very
stuff
much
working.
with cameras, they always wait until something happens. Every business
Yeah.
I've ever worked at, like the first office I ever worked at, we did not have any cameras in the back lot. One of the girls kept her car unlocked. I want to say she kept her keys in there because it was a small town where you work.
Yeah.
They weren't used to people like doing anything. Well, she walked out to go get in her vehicle and she was like, "Who's pranking me? Who moved my car?" Or whatever.
And they're like,
And somebody stole it, took it for a
I'm not
joyride, jacked it all up. It was disgusting. They had like a bunch of stuff in there.
I'm not, because I think that there's enough information now to figure out where it works. I'm not gonna like mention the lack of the cameras, but I do know, like that's kind of been my experience is that
It's
if there's like something that happens or discrepancy or anything like that, that's normally whenever it becomes
Okay,
a
now we need to
We
have
should
cameras.
probably have cameras.
Yeah.
to
Just like
make it
church.
more- and it doesn't even have to be like something
Oh, we need a
bad. It
camera.
could just be like something almost
Concerning.
bad happened or
Yeah.
something that's like a little, like we want more eyes over there.
I think to be safe, I do, not necessarily inside places, like you don't need to be watching people, but if you have a business, I think it's always smart to have cameras outside.
Yeah.
Front and back. I think that's just kind of
Yeah.
like a maybe you should just invest and already be prepared for that.
because I think it's like
Not that cameras don't get, like, people can break them or whatever, but at least you tried.
Yeah. It's one of those things too to where it's like I think it's more of like you don't want to be observed all the time, but it is one of those to where it's like once it becomes
Like,
an
I need
issue or
that,
if it's
yeah.
something, then it's kind of like, well, we got to put a camera
Yeah.
here. It's
Yeah.
like for whatever.
Like when Mason's stealing cables from the back. And
Yeah, like maybe now we put a camera back there. Yeah, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, well.
This next one is Party 18712. I've experienced many paranormal encounters while on duty as a police officer. There was one call I went to a death notification that really freaked me out. I had to contact some family members of a deceased woman that was involved in a fatal car accident a few miles away from her home. When I arrived, I met a woman near the roadway just inside the property gate. She said she heard me coming from miles away. I asked her if she lived at the residence, which she had confirmed she did. After asking her to speak with me at the house, she agreed but said she needed the walk as the house was about 75 yards from the road. After making it to the house, I approached the front door on a small wooden porch and began scanning the driveway for the woman. This was about 1 a.m. While looking for the woman, the front door opened and a younger woman appeared. She was concerned about my presence and asked if everything was okay. I asked if I could speak with her and any other adults inside, and she welcomed me in. I told her I'd wait for the woman I met near the gate, and she told me nobody else would be home. I freaked out and began searching the property. Nothing. After entering the residence, I told her and her husband the news about Susan, which ended up being her mother. She said her mother moved in a few months back after her father had passed away and wasn't handling it well. While she and her husband were comforting one another, I began looking at photos on the wall. There was this picture of a mid-aged woman that stuck out to me. She was a younger version of the woman I spoke with near the gate. While looking at the picture, the daughter confirmed that was her mother, the woman that passed away in the wreck. I had spoke with the ghost of the individual that died in the crash just before telling her family what happened. I've had several other experiences that I recently decided to share, along with stories from other fellow officers.
So it's a death notification.
So the police officer is going to the family to let
Yeah.
them know, hey, your mom was in a
she
wreck.
died in a separate, like a whole other area. Okay.
Yeah, away from the house. But he
Yeah.
gets to the house and the lady's like outside or whatever, and she's like, I heard you from miles away. And he was like, oh, okay. Like she was like, the house is like 75 yards away. If you'll just like walk up there, I'll meet you at the house or whatever. He gets there, he looks all around, he can't find her. He knocks on the door, the girl comes out and she's like, is there something I can help you with basically? And he was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to your family. Can I come inside? I'll wait for your mom or whoever that woman is to talk to you. And she was like, nobody else should be here, just me and my husband. He talks to them, sees the picture, and she was like, that's my mom, like the one who just passed away that he was letting them know. So he saw the ghost of the person he was going to tell had passed away.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. It's crazy to me whenever people see, like, especially like right when they
Right after they
pass
die.
away. Yeah, because we read one story, it's been a little bit back. Remember with the kid telling his mom, like, oh, my friend in the corner over there is scared because something happened to his mom or whatever. Like, there was a car accident up the hill from their house and the whole family ended up passing away. But, like, the kid's ghost came or whatever. It just reminded me of that. Just so, I can't imagine being a police officer and, like, seeing stuff like that and just, like, not being able to wrap your mind around it because you're like, I don't know.
Well, I think it's extra kind of just weird or creepy or kind of interesting whenever it's like if somebody just died. Because then it's in that trope of, like, maybe that person doesn't even know that they're dead yet or hasn't processed or they haven't, or that maybe they haven't moved on or whatever.
Yeah.
It could still be like the, we talked about, like, out-of-body experiences or near-death experience. Like, their body may not be all the way, like, they might not be clinically dead, how we were talking about.
It may not be
just their
completely
soul
severed.
Their soul is traveling a little bit, but the silver cord is still attached.
Yeah. What was that Bruce Willis movie where the kid talks to dead people?
Is it The Sixth Sense or something else?
Yeah, I think it was The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And then it's like the twist where
At
Bruce
the end.
Willis is dead.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie.
It's sad, though. Like, that is so sad, like, to go the whole movie and not know. There's a movie with Mark Ruffalo. What is that one called?
Ghost in the Shell. No.
Just like Heaven. He can see her, and they're trying to figure out, like, how to get her back into her body,
so
type of thing.
Closer to, like, the kind
Yeah,
of body,
yeah.
Where you're just, like, separated at the time, but not...
Yeah, like, she's not dead, but she is in a coma, and they're trying to figure out, like, how to get her back in her body. Because he's widowed, and I think he ends up falling in love with her when she's just a spirit
like a rom-com.
type. Yeah, it's a rom-com. It's good, though. It's good.
But it's about, like, a kind of dead person.
Yeah. I feel like that makes it even better,
Oh, yeah. 'Cause now it's like, it could be pretty reasonable that, I guess, if you had just died, you may not be...
I heard you come from miles away, dude. That's because he was already at your crime scene and then went to your house.
He's like...
Yeah. Which is also eerie. That's very eerie to me that she says, like, the first thing that she says is, I could hear you from miles away.
And that's almost like knowing, right? Or, like, unaware.
Yeah.
Of what was reasonably arrogant, or ignorant, excuse me, of, like...
What was going on.
Yes.
I agree with Mason's take.
I agree.
It's a solid take.
I agree. This username is Skinty but Plenty.
What are we about to read?
When I was like...
Have we proofread that?
When I was like 11 or 12, I was friends with a few other kids on my street. There was around 4 of us. We played outside and would go over to each other's houses to play video games, eat snacks, etc. One night, I was woken up by knocking at the door. I remember going to the door, checking out the window, and seeing one of my neighborhood friends, and then opening the door. At the time, I didn't register how late it was or anything. I probably was like, "What's up?" And they said something along the lines of, "Hey, just checking on you. Everything okay?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Bye," and I went back to sleep.
Kind of a weird thing. Randomly come by.
Just want to check on you.
How you doing? All right, I gotta go.
Yep.
Bye.
See you later.
In the morning, my mom was fussing about the lights being on when she got up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Kayla came by last night acting all weird." My mom just looked at me, and that's when it hit me that the friend that I saw last night passed in a car accident a couple weeks prior. The fact that I left the lights on from the previous night proves to me that I wasn't dreaming, and I get chills to this day just thinking about it.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know why. I've been on like a car accident. I'm just like,
I think if you've
A
seen
lot of it is like that.
yeah, I think if you've seen a friend that had passed a couple weeks ago,
You think it'd clock?
you think it'd probably
if you're so
clock.
tired though, It's so like so,
Did
and
it must
takes,
not have bothered you much to lose
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
friend.
or like-
no, I wouldn't say that. I
I
just
would
think
say that.
why? I think
I
whenever
100% would
something
say
just
that.
happens, if you still haven't into the acceptance phase,
I don't
It's
know,
been a
but
couple
like
weeks.
yeah,
consciously,
3 weeks is enough for me to probably. Yeah, that needs probably.
they were 11 years old.
I don't know. That one don't. sit
Well,
well.
I don't know. I think it's like it's one of those things where I think what's most weird about it is that they didn't like why is this person
At
asking
my house in the
me,
middle of the night. Are you
am
okay?
I okay? Like at my door?
Yeah.
Like that's weird. Like if Wyatt came over
Just
to the
drop
house
by just to
and
say.
just knocked on the door and was like, "Hey man, you all right?" Should I not be? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on, dude? Like,
Even at 11, I don't know.
yeah, I feel like I would have been at least like, yeah.
I'm gonna do that now. One day I'm just gonna drive
You
up.
all right? Yeah.
All
Are
right,
you?
bye.
Are you? Is
Yeah.
everything?
Come to Wyatt. I'll come to you. I'll come to your place, Wyatt. Knock on the door. Just want to make
won't
sure you're doing
answer.
good.
Yeah.
You wouldn't answer if I knocked on the door.
Probably not.
You guys would be
Wyatt.
very disappointed.
I just start yelling through the window. Hey, you
Yeah.
all right?
I definitely wouldn't answer.
You all
that.
right?
Yeah, no. If it's been 3 weeks since you
Yeah.
passed and I start hearing you, yeah.
I mean, I didn't mean
I'm
if
gonna
I didn't mean being dead.
It's like Skinwalker type.
It
Like,
Yeah.
mimics outside of your.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I'm not.
I
messing with that.
didn't list them in here, but I do want to do some of the Appalachian. I don't know how people say it right. I always say it wrong.
Appalachian.
Appalachian stories with the whistling and stuff. I'd like to get into some more of
Fucking
those.
Appalachians. Yeah, I wouldn't do
Appalachian.
that.
Whistling at
I wouldn't
night.
do
That's a
that.
bad idea.
Just
We need to do an episode though. I love
I'm
reading
not doing
those.
that. You
No.
can
No,
do it.
reading the stories, not actually
Yeah.
whistling in the middle of the night.
Because, man, I don't know. It's one of those things, and that's how I feel about a lot of, like, the paranormal things, is where it's like,
It's creepy enough
I
to
don't
not
know.
want to try it.
yeah, like, I don't know if I believe it, but also
I'm not gonna test it
Yeah, I'm
out.
not, there's nothing to gain by
Yeah.
doing it, so I'm not going to try and prove it
He's
wrong.
like, I'm not gonna risk actually
Yeah.
going out
Post
and doing
some,
it.
like, little, like, edgy, like,
Teenager-y
contrarian, like, 14-year-old, then yeah, maybe I would, but it's kind of just like, I'm old enough now where I'm like, we'll let sleeping dogs lay.
Yeah, that's a Native American suspicion thing too. The don't whistle at night thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just is like you're basically calling attention to yourself, and you
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Not at night.
Yeah, I think I'll just stick where I'm at.
Even if it's not anything like, paranormal, I just don't think giving up your location when you can't see past
Yeah.
like 30 feet is a good idea. So.
Yeah, I don't disagree. This one's a short one. It's just, I think this one was just asking, like, have you ever seen a ghost before? That's what this thread or whatever
Yeah,
it's
like
called.
question
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
It said, I was face to face with a full-blown apparition in my buddy's basement after turning the light off. He'd bought the house from his grandmother. We told her about it and she pulled out an old photo and asked if it was him. Yep, her husband died down there 20 years ago. She laughed and said it was him making sure I wasn't stealing his tools, but he likes to visit every once in a while. I feel like Wyatt as a ghost.
He just pops in.
Like somebody
Everything's
messing
still here?
with stuff in the shop and everything, like just to scare you, like, hey,
That
don't
would
be
be
messing with
kinda
my
funny.
stuff.
Yeah.
It just, I thought that was just so random
That's the
but
kind
funny.
of
She's
ghost
like,
that
that's
I
it.
wouldn't mind. If they're just like there to kind of like, oh,
what are you
well,
doing with my stuff?
Yeah, or just like, hey, I'm just gonna pop in just to either just kind of spook you for a second, or just to be like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, yeah.
Are you all right?
You know, you all right?
Are you good? Come
okay.
knock on your door.
Yeah, I know. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. This one's Trocam 37282. Hanging around bad people, dark vibes, and drugs. I've seen a lot of paranormal.
With a name like Trocam 309082, I believe this guy.
Yeah.
It said, I've had 2 weird experiences that were witnessed by others around me. First one, I was hanging out with 2 friends, and one of them started telling us about he kept seeing little people running around. We laughed it off thinking he was crazy. But then, as we drove back home and parked in the apartment lot, we were just sitting in the car, the engine off. When my friend glanced at the side view mirror and his face looked terrified, he screamed, "Go, go, go!" At first, I laughed at him and told him to stop freaking out. But then I turned around and saw 2 small figures racing towards us. They look like leprechauns.
These
Their
haunted
tiny
by
bodies.
midgets.
Their tiny
little
bodies
people.
moving unnaturally fast. Without thinking, I floored the gas pedal and got out of there.
They were in
Let's switch.
Smallville.
Yeah, it's
On the wrong side of the track.
on the wrong side of Smallville, baby.
Basically, he's either he literally says drugs in the very beginning of it. His thing. So
You know
he
what?
could have been on drugs, but he also could be haunted by
By a bunch of small people
or leprechauns.
or leprechauns.
I didn't
'Cause they're
know-
real.
I don't think leprechauns haunt, though, do they? I wouldn't call that a haunting, right?
I don't know. Would that be,
You would know. You're Irish.
Not really. No.
Your hair's just a little red, is all.
I would be. That would probably be scarier. I don't know. Is that scarier than a
I
regular
don't like.
person?
Yes, it's
Regular?
terrifying.
On one side of the coin, it is like. I feel like that, at least the size wise, it'd be harder to hide if you were an average size ghost or whatever. But then if you're like a small ghost, maybe there's more crevices that you're able to.
There's more crevices. Wyatt's getting a headache.
I think-
He's so
I
done
think
with
ghosts don't have
us.
to deal with that. I think
Maybe
they go
not.
through walls and
Maybe
stuff.
not.
All right, go. This
It would be a
Mason
little
backing up into the
ridiculous.
closet,
It
literally.
would be
just,
like if you saw like a smaller
Isn't that
ghost
scarier?
just
I
like
think it's
bust out into
scarier.
a full sprint.
there is something scary, and I think it's just also like how children, like if a child starts running towards me, full sprint.
Well, if
Scary.
they're like coordinated enough to be able to get into a full sprint, and they're
There's just
small,
something
then
scary
yeah,
about
that's
like something little.
they
going
shouldn't
on
be
your
able
legs.
to do that. I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
like that would be more uncanny because I'm like, who taught you that? Where did you pick that up? If you're able to perfect form like sprint towards
Agreed.
something, it's like that can't be human. At that
Something
point.
ain't real.
Yeah, so maybe I am a
Something ain't
little
right.
less scared if it's like a human figure just bursting in a sprint.
I don't know. I'd say equal.
Um,
What if it was
It's
like
equally-
6'6"? So
How
is it
buff
the
is it
short?
looking?
Is
Is
it
it
the
thin?
short thing or is it just the not average thing?
I think it's a not average.
Because
Listen.
if you look behind you and it's like 7 foot
Something
tall,
is-
yeah, no, if it's like
Yeah.
freakishly like either
Yeah.
way, huge or tiny, either way, because then
Yeah.
it's not human. If it's like human shaped but it's the wrong size,
yeah,
that's a problem. That's I'm immediately much more concerned than I would be.
that is a problem.
Because on one hand, it's like if it's human sized, it may just be a person.
So I'd say like the roller coaster things are like the good human. Like when you get up there and
you're-
Yeah, it's like
there's
the
too short and there's too tall.
Yeah.
and you've got to fall in the.
And
Yeah.
that roller
In the
coaster,
window.
yeah.
yeah, because anything higher it becomes uncanny. It's
Yeah.
like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is that? Yeah, if there's something 8 foot, human shape, dead sprint, no, I'm probably just as, if not more.
I mean, they're just gonna get there
Yeah.
quicker than the little one, I
Yeah.
guess. At
Yeah,
least.
you even have less time. So
Yeah.
maybe, I would be like a really tall person figure. I would be terrified if they just.
I'm just scared if anybody starts running towards me. I think it
Yeah.
don't matter, average or not. This one, I don't know how they pronounce this Reddit name, but it's Flamboyancy. Weird but funny story experience. So, about 2 days ago, my cat was playing around my curtains at 5 a.m., and I got mad, yelled at him twice for keeping me awake. Later that day, when I woke up, my brother asked me if I'd opened his door at 5:30 in the morning, which I did not. Everyone was sleeping, including me. Turns out, the cat that got on my nerves was locked in my brother's room that morning. My brother heard his door slam shut and woke up to see my cat in the corner of his room, terrified. On my sensor system for the door, it says it was open 40 seconds before being closed. And on my doorbell camera, you can hear a male voice saying, "Cats," repeatedly, and even a clear, "Lock him up." It sounds like that guy. It says, it
Yeah,
says
that's drugs.
he let him out, in which my brother did let the cat out before the voice was heard. I don't know what the ghost's intent was, mean or to assist me in sleeping, but I hope it was not evil either way.
You said lock.
It's
and
never
load.
bothered us or moved things until today in all these
Is that what it
years.
said?
Lock them up.
Lock him up.
Oh, I thought you said lock and load.
Lock and load.
I was like,
No.
Or drop
I
it
was
in. That's an
thinking-
intruder.
Chip Hazard in the little soldiers.
I was making fun of, the lock
Yeah.
him up.
Man.
But no, the ghost was saying cats, and then they opened that door and closed the cat in there to lock him up, and then
Yeah.
the ghost was mad when the brother opened the door to let the cat
Yeah.
out.
Man, I mean,
Lock him up.
who has like interior door sensors too?
I don't know what the
That's-
reason would be to have sensors. Why you look like you're getting possessed? Like every time I look at you, one eye's like barely open and you're like moving in a
Yeah,
weird
I got
way.
something in my eye.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's been working at it for a little while now.
Wyatt's practicing his poltergeist over there. I think there's something funny about that. Like they keep yelling at the cat, so the ghost is like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of
He's
this.
probably just tired.
I'll
of you,
take
though.
care of this."
Yeah,
he's-
probably.
He's annoyed. I
Yeah.
think they do get annoyed.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
I think they get annoyed easily.
Yeah, because like
I mean, if I had been here for years and years and years, I already get agitated pretty easily.
Because
I
if you think that death is the end, and now you got to deal with like people
This
forever,
again, yeah. You
Yeah.
thought
It's
you were
like-
getting out, and then
I'd get tired of it too, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
you'd be locking cats and
yeah, I just like, oh my gosh, these people again, dude. No, yeah, it must be hard work being a ghost.
yeah, I'm sure it is. This next one is also super short and funny, but the name is Kid Moth. This one was like, have you ever had a ghost try to do something crazy to you or whatever? This person said, I told that freeloader to fight me. And by golly, they did. One of my little snow globes came flying off the shelf and almost hit me in my head. As in, it lurched forward and flew horizontally through the air at my head 3 feet away. And you know what? That freeloader missed.
Not a fair fight.
sounds like a scary movie
Yeah, we
script.
can't like.
Scary movie 7.
Dude, that's not fair. You know, if I'm
If you
fighting
would have
you,
told him if you would have
I
said
didn't-
something about the lava lamp, you could have had that.
No, I don't want him to fling things at me. If I want to throw hands, I want to throw hands. Like that's like if I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go outside and let's take this outside and they grab a brick, you know, and just off my head. It's like well, that's not what I meant. You know what I mean? So that's
The
not
heaviest
fair.
thing it could find.
That's not fair at all. I mean,
We would have been if you did something like this, like where Judy's room was in Papa's house.
you think
You
it
know,
would have?
all the snow globes and
Yeah.
stuff all around that whole room. Be in a bad way.
Dude, you would have got hit.
You would have got
If
hit.
you had about 100
they had
of
it
them flying at
multiple
your head.
options. Yeah,
Not good.
not good at all.
Not good.
One time I moved into a different house and I was in the kitchen unpacking plates. I heard a clattering sound in the lounge room, but it was supposed to be only me at home. So, I went to the lounge and the vacuum cleaner pipe was upright and moving back and forth. It wasn't on and it wasn't plugged in. So, I said aloud, well, gee thanks, I need all the help I can get. And suddenly it just fell to the floor and nothing weird ever happened in the house after
Who
that.
says, well, gee, thanks?
Well,
I
geez,
would say
I
that.
read it.
A Redditor.
definitely
Don't
a
even.
Redditor.
I do not even
That's
put me in that.
definitely a
I
Redditor.
read it
No.
to respond. Well,
No.
gee willikers, thanks, man.
Well, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Yeah.
Gee, Scoobs.
Yeah, that would be a Redditor. No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like,
That's like, it's just like the lava lamp. I feel like I'm trying to target y'all with some of these. I'm trying to
think
get
it's
some
just- well,
emotional
yeah.
responses.
I don't know. It's one of those things
If
where
you would
it's
have been like, oh, I love it when you shake it like that. Okay.
What?
What are we talking about?
What the hell?
I love when you fling that around like
Yeah,
that.
it's like the helicopter in that.
Lava lamp. Like, what?
Fling that sucker around for me. No, I don't know, man.
I love it whenever you. Okay, never mind.
Oh, no. Keep
Like,
it,
well,
keep
gee,
it.
thanks. Thanks for shaking my lava lamp. You know, like.
That's not better. I don't know.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't know. And I wasn't even happy about it. Like, why would you like that?
Yeah.
That was.
That's what you're due to like show them you're not afraid. You know, like you gotta prove to it like
I think they
I'm not
sense
scared of
that
you.
You're
Yeah.
lying.
Yeah,
I think they
you
get
just gotta
past
But
take
it
it
still
away.
stopped. You know they had to have been scared, and it still stopped.
It stopped.
It was like, oh, this isn't that much fun. Like you're
It
not
was
gonna.
a Redditor. They may not understand what fear is.
Yeah, they don't got the capacity.
Yeah.
It's all right. It's not their fault. It's just how they were made.
Oh, you guys are so mean.
Not mean. I'm just.
Fetal alcohol syndrome. Something. You never know.
This will make us go, and we're gonna get canceled immediately.
You just
You
cut
know how
these
much
parts.
of the internet is Redditors? Probably 90%.
No.
I feel like it's dropping every day.
Yeah.
Really?
I think
it
that
is.
that they're slowly losing.
I think they're
Really?
losing ground, man. I think it's the bots are taking over.
Oh, well, that's true. That's
Is
true.
the problem?
Bots, watch us.
It's bots are taking over everything, dude. Every social media platform. It's kind of getting annoying.
That is annoying.
But it is what it is. I guess you just like go outside, talk to real people. That's how you fix it. If you
That's
want
true.
good human interaction, like go find some
A real
humans.
human. Yeah.
Yeah. So going online.
I've got 2 more, and then we'll finish this up. Marty Real. Kind of a funny story from my teenage years when we started to realize our house was haunted. When I was about 12 or so, also, a lot of these people are 11 to 12 years old.
That's
Yeah,
not
and that-
teenage years. What are you talking about? 13 and up.
That's true. I guess, like, preteen. They said teenage years, but
They did.
preteen.
I think I don't know.
11
man.
to
That's the
12
other
is an
thing.
interesting time of life.
Yeah,
To
but
be
it's
having
so
these
easy to lie.
experiences.
I feel like most of my
Easy to lie.
lies came out when I was like 12.
yeah,
and
when I was
13.
young, I threw some lies out.
Yeah, because that's the age you just see if it works.
Yeah. See what you can get away with.
You know.
It's fair. I was watching TV in my parents' basement, and my dad was doing the same in the upstairs living room. Only the 2 of us were home. It was about 7 o'clock or so when a loud metal bang and a comical amount of tumbling sounds came from the laundry room in the hallway between my dad and I. After turning off the TVs and a long pause, we exchanged a, "Was that you?" I was initially terrified, and my dad told me to stay put till he came down. Upon investigating the laundry room, we found a large shelf had been torn off the wall, and heavy metal bracket on one side had been bent unnaturally down flat to the wall. Everything on the shelf was thrown to the floor. Old half-closed bottles, baskets, open powder detergent containers, etc. You'd expect a huge mess from that kind of storage shelf disaster, but it all fell perfectly, hilariously upright. If it hit the floor, it sat upright. If it landed on old clothes piles, upright. If it managed to bounce across the room, upright. The powder container? Surely that took a nasty tumble and made a mess. Nope. Upright 6 feet across the floor with no powder spilled. My dad just took a moment and said, "Okay, we get it. You wanted our attention but didn't want to make a real mess. You have our attention. So tell us, what do you need so I can go back to watching TV?" And we did so. Bless my dad's heart, he has long since passed, but always made the idea of ghosts less scary growing up. So they just went back and watched TV.
That sounds so like
So
that's
a Redditor story.
yeah,
if
that's
I've ever
bad
heard.
writing. Not good writing.
Not good writing at all.
That's like
They said, guess
it
what?
was rather quite
Upright.
comical.
Upright.
and you have our-
Hilarious.
Yeah, I think that sounds written. That doesn't sound like real people words that come out of real people's mouths.
That's how I talk.
Unreliable narrator. You know, I knew when they lied about being in their teenage years.
Yeah, already
White
off the
immediately
bat,
clocked
they
that.
were-
He clocked that
Yeah,
immediately.
just-
They said 12. That's not a
There's
teenager.
no
There's not a
teen in the word
teenager.
12.
You know what? 12.
It was quite comical how the bottles had all ended up wide.
Oh, well, you have forgotten our attention, sir.
Well, now that
may
you
we
have
ask
it.
what you are searching for? No, But if that did happen,
I just think it's one of
think
those
that would
things
be
like,
like-
if things happen like that, if you either pay zero attention to it at all whatsoever, you act like it's not even there.
that's
Or-
what I would do. By the way, I
Yeah.
would just but
Or you're like, all right, I see you. You're
Yeah,
funny. Ha ha
That's
ha.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It sounded like his dad went upstairs and stood all the bottles straight up whenever
it was like,
when he realized that his cabinet hanging wasn't quite up to spec.
It
must
is
have been the
interesting that
ghosts.
it didn't make a mess with all the powder and stuff, though.
like that would be one of the things where like I would have to see it to believe it, and
Yeah.
if I did, then I'm
All right.
all right, probably ghost. Okay, I'm just not gonna think about it.
I'm not going to say anything,
I'm gonna
though.
put this back up and put everything back and act like that it never happened.
And I ain't gonna hit him with a cute one-liner
Yeah.
like this is a family-safe Deadpool movie.
Hit him with that anime dub.
What would
like-
you
like-
said?
Like,
Why? What have you said?
nothing. Why do you talk to him?
Yeah, I'd have been
I
like,
don't
well,
know.
that cabinet gonna have to be hung back up.
Well, yeah, I guess we need a new bracket for the
Something
wall.
else for the wife to mouth about.
Yeah. Call it a day.
Then you get his beer and go watch his TV.
That's the appropriate response.
So
to a
both of your
ghost
responses
encounter.
would be
Ignore.
pretend nothing is there. Yeah,
Yes.
which is safest probably. It's probably your best
Yeah.
bet. But this is our last story. This one's for Wyatt.
Uh-oh.
Not so funny, but odd thing happened to me. I lived with my dad at the time, and my grandparents' house was next door. My dad had a cocker/dachshund mix that was cute as all get out, and he named her Little Darlin'. Like a mini long-haired dachshund with bigger eyes. So Little Darlin' was like, she basically just looked like a mini dachshund.
Yeah.
I was at my grandparents' house one evening, midwinter, so it was already dark. I finished my visit and walked out the door and saw Little Darlin' on the front porch. I said, "Darling, what are you doing here? Let's go home." She danced around and followed me back to our house. I looked down to make sure she was with me and opened the door, and she followed me in. My dad was watching TV in the living room, so I told him I let his dog in, that she was cold outside. "What dog?" he said. "Darlin', she was next door." Just then, Darlin', who heard her name, stuck her head out from under a blanket on the couch. My dad said she'd been there the whole time. There was no way she could have gotten on the couch and under the blanket before I walked in, and my dad swore she had been there the whole time. So who did he let in the house?
That would be.
Isn't that such a dash-hound thing for them to be literally tucked up and burrowed underneath a blanket on the couch? It just reminded me of Millie. I was like, oh, I gotta put that in there. But that is creepy.
Yeah, that would be a little concerning. But I'll probably let in a skinwalker, but you know.
Because they did invite it in, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Come on in.
Come on in, little darling. But it looks, I mean, I would assume the same thing. It's your
Yeah.
dog. You
And that's
literally is your dog.
So I guess now you need to be checking.
Yep. You got to open the door and wait for it to walk in.
But, you know.
Don't invite your
Because they
animals in.
they don't know English anyway.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Just open the door, and if they walk in, they're cool.
The thing
Yeah.
is once you invite them, it doesn't matter. They can come in any time, right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, it's like a vampire. It's like one and done. And you
Yeah.
don't got to do it every time you come to the threshold.
So yeah, no, just don't talk to your animals. They don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Open it, and if they don't come in, be
Yeah.
like, you're evil.
Yeah, and
You're going to stay.
and you never let them in again. Now, your actual
You're an
dog is
outside
just,
dog now.
outside, and
You're stupid enough to not come in on your own. That's too bad.
Yeah, so you're locked out forever.
I have never thought, which I know it's not something I would just think about anyway.
Yeah, that
but
it's
I've
not
never
a
thought
common
about
occurrence. It's like,
Yeah.
the skinwalker.
yeah, I better.
You tried again.
I've never just been like, oh, just wait for the dog to come. Like, Millie, get in the house. Come on, get in, or Dash, or whoever, you know. Sawyer, get in the house.
Yeah. and they're
Now,
just like, now you just come back.
open. See your way in. If not, I guess you're
Yeah.
staying out there. All right, that's my last story for the night. Any thoughts, ideas?
If you've got ghost
Comments.
stories, viewers.
We would love, I love ghost stories. I would
Yeah.
love just the simple, like, easygoing, just fun to read some ghost stories every
we've
now
all
and then.
shared one of our ghost stories. At this
Yes.
point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I would hear you guys.
Well, share us your ghost stories. Let us know. If you had an experience, would you, A, say something to the ghost? B, pretend that it's not there at all?
Yeah, just go drink a beer. Forget
Or
about it.
C, I'm just kidding.
Challenge it to a
Challenge
fight.
it to a fight. Hi, ghost.
Ask it to meet you in the
You and
parking
me.
lot.
Mono a
You
mono.
might get in
Mono
trouble
a
if you're in the parking
mono.
lot. The little leprechauns will come chase you
Yeah,
down.
dude. Or they'll start flinging things. Either way.
Snow globes and rocks or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a fair fight. So be prepared. Street rules do apply when we're fighting ghosts. So be aware of
Get
that.
curb stomped by a ghost.
You might take your Millennium Falcon Lego set right off the
Just
counter.
right to the noggin, dude.
Yeah.
I'd watch out. I'd watch out.
Thank you so much for joining us in today's episode. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like and subscribe. We want to hear from you. Leave topic ideas in the comments or find our email in the description box below to send us your scary stories. Find us here next time on the Fear and Flame podcast.
Yowdy.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
We're gonna cut all of those.
I think it'd be fair if we didn't. I know we just here.
Cut it. Cut it right before you say the first bye.
But
Bye.